You are listening to the Fresh Take Network.
What it is? Welcome to Fresh Take Joshua and William Marathon with the one and only DJ Rocswell.
That's a dope intro, my friend.
That's what I do. That's what I do, man.
Appreciate
Welcome
you.
to the podcast.
Thank you
We're
for having me.
breaking your podcast cherry today.
Yes, I was a virgin, no longer.
No, we're going to go through it and get it done, man. All right. So I'm super excited to have you. First off, kind of just talk to me about where you found the love of hip-hop and what got you into this world.
That's a dope question. Hip-hop started in my dad's basement. Wow, I was in basement. We were in an apartment building, two bedroom, 4 kids. That's where it started. I used to steal his record. I used to actually steal his record. I used to get in trouble for stealing his record and playing classic from The Rapid Delight, Marvin Gaye, all that good stuff. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I was going to ask what are some of the first records. So those are some of the first records.
Yeah, so some record too, and then some of the Caribbean record too as well too. That
right,
because being from Haiti.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to say so that's you get the Haiti side and the Canadian side. Do you seem to get from a few DJs out here?
Yes, I was born in Montreal, but my parents were born in Haiti.
All right.
So that's where the influence comes, and French is definitely big.
Yeah, you were kind of hitting us a little bit with that before off
air. Yes.
What brought you to Calgary?
Calgary was a little bit of everything: football, music, everything.
Yeah,
a little bit of football. I played football in the U.S. college football, and then after that, I got drafted by the Hamilton Tiger Cat. But it was never the plan for me to play football. Yeah, music was always my.
So where'd you play in the States?
Missouri. Show me state.
So the Mizzous. What year?
86, 97, 98. No, sorry. 97, 98, 99, 2000. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you just missed one of my favorite Lakers, Kareem Rush. He went there. Ooh. Kareem Rush played for the Mizzou Tigers. Yeah. Underrated Laker. He had that big game against Minnesota Timberwolves when he knocked out a bunch of those trays.
Yes. We were a small school then.
Yeah.
Now the big program now.
You were a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament a few years ago.
Crazy. Yeah.
So did you put yourself into the NFL draft?
No, not even the CFL draft.
No.
Somebody with some talent did that. I wasn't even think. I was done. I got my degree. I'm back home. Let's start my music business. That was my main focus.
What position were you playing?
Defensive back, punt return.
Defensive back. So, and how long did you play for the Tiger Cats?
4 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what year were you there then?
97 to 2000.
So did you get a Grey Cup? I can't remember. Remember there was a Stanton in...
No. I'm talking about Missouri. Not college.
So when you played for the Tiger Cats?
No, but I got drafted. I was in the practice roster.
Oh, it was in practice roster.
But then it was never my intention to play, so I just kind of pretty much walked away from it. Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, we have legends that have been in practice squads like Dwayne Johnson, right?
Those are legends.
That came through. And we've seen those aspirations in the CFL is what I'm saying. So
And when I came to Calgary, it was a time when they had Marvin Coleman, Johnson, Eddie Davis. Yeah. There's no way you're going to make that squad. There was legends in there. So, yeah.
Yeah, that Tiger Cat squad was stacked. So then you have this love of music. So you talked about some of those records, but was there a record particularly that you broke out as okay, this is definitely what I want to do because this record is taking me to this next level to be not just be a fan of music, but to be in music?
You know what? There was so many music I used to listen to, but I would tell you the record that really got me going was It Takes Two by Rob Bass. Because we used to be in the neighborhood. That was 89, 88. Everybody used to do the Running Man and dancing. It was when hip-hop was really the essential. You know what I mean? It was the swag and the gold chain, all that stuff. But the dancing too, all that stuff too. So that's when I really got the energy. And
there definitely was that in the 90s, a little bit in the 2000s. I feel like hip-hop's kind of lost it a little bit lately. But in those 2 decades specifically, maybe I'm just being an old head, but the culture really spoke to what hip-hop was. It was kind of the defiant thing of what hip-hop was about.
I think, I used to think that way, but I think hip-hop is grown. Yeah. Remember when it was our time, we were young. Mm-hmm. So now it's a young game. It's a young kid's game. So they're seeing a different way. So this is the new way. I think, yes, you had the mumble rap, all that stuff, but the lyrics are coming back. I think it's back. So it just...
Slowly. You got guys like J. Cole.
100%.
Yeah. Just dropped a fire album.
100%. Yeah. Who else? Kendrick.
Joey Badass is someone that I don't mind.
Yeah. There's a lot of dudes. Dizzy. There's a lot of rappers.
I'm trying to get my way back in. I kind of remember for me, not to make this about myself, but like when Soulja Boy came out, I'm like, man, I don't know if I like this.
But remember, he was 15 years old.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he produced and wrote. Like, that was crazy. So you got to respect that.
Well, it's also just so interesting where it's coming from now, and especially for you aspiring to be in this industry. I remember, like, out here in Calgary, they'd have that song Boyfriend, but they had the remix that had Nelly in it, right? The NSYNC song, and they edited out Nelly.
Yes.
Or they had, like, that song Grills, but they didn't have Paul Wall in it.
Yes.
It was like the song was about, because Paul Wall had the grill, but they just played that, and now we're in the supermarkets playing hip-hop. The radio doesn't have anything about it. It was a weird, almost censorship of having the actual rapper into it, and now it's a full embrace.
Well, hip-hop is a new pop.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Period.
Like, yeah, well, look at Drake. Like, I never almost say Drake is a rapper. Drake is a pop star.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
He's been a pop star. So what have you kind of taken from where the industry is right now to put into your music when you make beats or perform or anything like that?
Performance, the energy comes from the old school way, watching the Jazzy Jeff, watching the Scratch Bastard. Even watching, like, Scratch Bastard was not even, like, he's in his 30s, I think, yes. And but I'm a fan. That guy is just the way he plays. And then the old school guys like Kid Capri, Jazzy Jeff, there's so many dope DJs. There's so many. Like, I got so many fans. Like, I'm a fan of even Sticher Radio DJ, a fan of him. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many dope DJs who just still use turntables and they know how to cut.
Jazzy Jade.
Yes.
I miss the funk flexes with the clues when they used to shout their names on the record.
Yeah, that was the mixtape days.
Yeah, well, funk flex was like,
Big Gully, coming with you with the track. Yeah,
and then Clue had kind of the echo in the back there.
Yeah, now they're more personality on the radio. Now. Yeah, so that's probably
that's a big part of it. What do you look at? Like when you look at DJ Rocswell, what would you define what you are as a DJ?
Party rocker.
Yeah,
I just bring the energy. You know what I'm saying? So that was always my goal. That's who I am, my passion, and I'm focused more on the production aspect of it. So we released our first album this January.
Nice.
We produced for other artists too, but that was the stepping stone to become a better producer and an engineer, all that stuff, learning the music business and how to deal with certain things in the music business. And now we're just focusing more on myself as an artist, as a producer, and it's go time.
What's gone into like the producing of everything?
I'm influenced by old school sample. Even though a lot of the stuff that I produce haven't been sampled. Because sampling is another thing that we learn right now, just how to get sample, clear, all that stuff. Yeah. So just making original sound and trying to make it your own. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can. But sampling is something that I definitely want to get into. There's a lot of record that I have I can't release because I need to get it clear.
Yeah. So. Well, I think Kanye wasn't the first to do it, but Kanye was one of the first I really remember just being like. Hearing others, Snoop did it a little bit too, but you go back to
Dr. Dre.
Way more in G. I remember Regulators comes out, it's huge, and then I'm driving with my dad, and he's like, "Is this Michael McDonald?" I'm like, "What? Who?" He's like this corny dude. Yeah. And then hearing Michael McDonald, I'm like, "All right, this is still pretty fresh," but not realizing that they borrowed it from Michael McDonald for the Regulator beat. Yeah.
But it's still amazing to be able to understand a record and put your twist.
Yeah.
That record became big twice. The original and then the second version. So it's crazy. And like you said, how many people don't know that it was sampled?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's a really exciting side when I think, Snoop is really good at it too because he'll share like who the sample was and they kind of educate you on who these artists were from 100%. The 70s or the 60s that they are sharing and kind of bringing it back. I mean, again, Kanye had a bunch of those records too that one of the things I do miss is you don't get the booklet anymore.
Yes.
And I remember going to the store and getting the booklet and be like, who did this and this? And then you'd see like, oh, this is the thing that Kanye sampled or whoever sampled it. Yeah. I got to find this other song and see what that one's like.
Now all it says, if you go on the streaming platform, all it says who wrote it, who produced it, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah. So the rest you have to do your homework. You actually have to go online, Google it. And
do you think that's kind of missed by this generation of the music? I mean, I remember like, when it released, the J. Cole comes out, everyone's waiting till 12 o'clock or whatever. It's out. I download, I listen, and that's really convenient and great. But like I was just talking about, I remember walking to the Sam Goody or
100%.
Waiting in line.
100%.
Yeah, I remember getting the blueprint for the first time.
100%.
And just
listen, we come from this generation.
Yeah.
We had CDs used to sell out. Like you had to wait another week or another month. Like you said, wait in line, all that stuff. Now the kids just go online. They have no idea how to we used to call it as the specific DJ. You go to the crate and dig to find records. It's the same thing when you used to go to the store.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go to find your CD, whatever it was, or the record, and you go to the hip hop section, AHMV.
Yeah.
Those days you just start digging. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even finding the artist out, right?
100%.
Like an artist would have a feature, and you're like, okay, but you couldn't just go and search it.
No.
So like I remember one time I found DJ Quick was on a track. I'm like, who is this guy? And then like spending like $50 on buying every DJ Quick album.
That's so
and be
cool.
like, okay, this is who this
He's
dude
a legend. He's a producer too.
Yeah,
Legend.
great.
Legend.
And this is who this dude is. Or I think now it's such a J. Cole again just put out a great album, and I hate to kind of repeat that, but like
No, I agree with you. His album is fire.
I feel like now it's almost a singles generation, right? The album, well, there can be great albums like we just saw. It's almost a singles generation, like who has the hottest single, because it's easier for people to digest because they can just have that. They go to the iTunes chart, the Spotify chart, download. Here's my playlist. Back in the day, for us, you get that one album. Like I remember the 50 Cent album, right?
Yes.
I remember just people driving by, and that's the only album you would hear for like
100%.
7 months.
Because you can play the whole album from A to Z.
Yeah, and now it's kind of a combination of singles.
Well, you know what? You know who brought it back? Well, I think certain artists like The Weeknd, the Drake,
Yeah.
you know, but Nas did it. Nas actually won his first award ever, and Nas is a legend.
Oh.
But his album with Hit Boy, is it? Yes, Hit Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a young producer who's becoming a young legend, working with old school guys. So this is so cool to see. And he actually won his first award. But his album is amazing from the beginning to the end. And that's like the old school blueprint. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's one of those guys that I feel like has Jay's obviously done that too. Has stayed over the head of time and kind of been undefeated. I mean, we now kind of grew up in Illmatic's like this legendary record,
100%.
but we can both kind of remember when it came out and the feeling we had. We heard Illmatic and it was so different than anything we heard.
it was so ahead of its time at the time. Because when Illmatic came out at that time, it was big for the hip hop head. But there was no radio playing, especially in Canada. Like you had Much Music.
Yeah.
What they were doing hip hop on Thursdays or Fridays.
Yeah, you get the
for 9 hours, for half an hour, so 30 minutes. That's
yeah,
it.
and I remember like waiting for the video sometimes, right? I was like, oh, I want this video today. And then I remember at one point, like I was waiting for this West Side Connection video, and they just kept playing that Jellystone song all the time,
yeah.
which is a dope song. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, oh, the Jellystone song again. Or they play like the throwback, like Tom Green, the group that he's with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I just want this video because I want to tape it on my VCR so I can go back and do it.
I remember those days. And then when BET came out in Canada, that was it. I was like, okay. Yeah.
It was such a different thing. So who have you kind of connected with, and how do you find like kind of the connection process go for your album?
Actually, for my album, it was just being me and my business partner, who was just Mike, the man behind the camera, just kind of just focusing on, tapping on who I am and what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm looking to work with certain rappers, but like you said, we're looking for the next lyrical, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a lot of artists, but it's how do you approach an artist? How do you I mean, it's easy to approach, but it's chemistry.
Well, it's
you got a good chemistry, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of time. So I think by now, like, I'm focused on myself and put my sound out there. Hopefully I can attract dope artists.
It's such an interesting process of finding that connection, because I mean, now, like, back in the day, you'd hand out a mixtape or whatever and be like, here, my stuff.
Kill mixtape,
yeah.
100%.
And now there's so much SoundCloud rappers, so there's almost like this buffet that you can kind of go and look at stuff. Do you guys kind of go and look at some of the SoundCloud stuff to see if there's a sound that you like at all?
You know what? I kind of keep my ears open when I see something on social media or whatever, or somebody tells me somebody. I usually, if I see a rapper that I really like, I'll follow them. And I just keep that relationship that way organically. I'm a fan first. Mm-hmm. And hopefully if it's meant to be and if we have this vibe, we can work. So, yeah.
And for the album, so how has that been, creating the album? And
man, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, the production wasn't so bad. It's mixing and mastering my own album.
Yeah.
And I got better over the year at mixing and mastering and learning a lot. But that was a challenge. Just redo it. No, I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the snare. You know what I'm saying? Listen in the car. Listen over here. And then house system. Listen in the studio. So that was a learning process. But now I'm working on my second album called Your Attention. We released Bonjour. We released Come Over. So it's more like a lo-fi soul hip-hop. So I've learned a lot from those. So now I'm a bit more comfortable and able to release a bit more. quickly.
A little quickly do it. Yeah. I guess it's got to be kind of cool because you're just having this learning experience, right?
100%.
And finding like you said, like trying to find all these different bases, not the idea bases, but like fundamentals of what you like and what you don't like, and take this away and take that away. And obviously, such a big thing is listening to the sound, right? So like you said, you listen to the car. You also go in like the different headphones. Like, oh, here's the AirPods on. Here's the Beats by Dre sound.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. 100%. Yes, 100%. And it's been a great experience. And then what's amazing, there's so much influence, like Nine Wonder, Burr Wonder, or there's so many DJs, producers that I love, and there's so much information. It's overwhelming sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes I just gotta level myself up and reset. But that information out there keeps me motivated. It's amazing because there's so much good music out there. Doesn't mean just because it's not number one doesn't mean it's not good. There's a lot of good music out there.
Well, the access is so much easier now, right? Like
Unbelievable.
what we talked about before, like you have to go through all this different stuff. I mean, you look at someone like Chance. He took a chance really on himself.
100%.
No label or anything like that, and now you don't really need the label to produce your music.
Nope.
Obviously, iTunes and Spotify are going to dictate different things based a little bit that you have a label, but if you blow up enough, you're going to be able to blow up. So I think that's a good thing for someone like you, right? That you're breaking into this, and you don't need that platform. You can put it on Spotify.
And the advantage for me is my life experience and having a business background.
Right.
Because music is a business. Like my boy Mike always says, it's 80% business, 20% music. So the 20% is writing the music, making the music, whatever it is, producing, recording. The 80% is investing your marketing, putting the money into it, and get the people to have the attention to your music. If you don't have that big machine behind you, it's hard. But the positive thing is, if you invest into yourself, you own your master. Like that's a benefit of that. It's not easy, but man, it's everything that we release right now. It's me and my business partner, so we have full control, and that's what I like about it. Lots of work to do right now, but still, it's on your own master and have the what's the word again? Have the ability to control your destiny with your music. It's priceless.
Yeah. What's that relationship been like building up with your business partner?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because he watch out for me. I mean, I get to focus on the music now. I used to do everything, the business and the music. So now I can actually do the music.
Yeah.
And he can handle the business. And we still have a meeting and we do talk business. But a lot of the things he can handle, I can just go back and make the music. So
the social media side, how has that been like building, a presence of who you are and what you want to be? How's that been?
Amazing. Again, him.
Yeah.
Taking the pictures, shooting the videos. He does all my pictures and videos. Sometimes I'll edit some of the videos because he'll film it and edit the color, but I'll put it together just for the social media. The music video, I let him handle all that stuff because that's like high level stuff. You know what I'm saying, for me anyway. Yeah. But it's a team. Like we understand each other, we understand the marketing we have to do, and they just help me to just keep pushing the content. It's all content now. Content, but the right content too as well.
So I know for you, you've done a little thing of the DJing here and there, basketball tournaments and all the places. What's that experience been like?
DJ's been good. It's been over 21 years now.
Yeah.
We traveled Toronto. We did everywhere. Like you know what I'm saying. We did a little bit of US, Toronto, Montreal, BC, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. Everywhere. So it's been everywhere. It's the same. It's you rocking the party.
Has there been a place though that or an event that has kind of stuck out a little bit?
I like Toronto.
Yeah.
Montreal, Toronto. But those cities, like, they're music head. It's not easy to play there, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard Montreal is like not underrated, but like very, very fun party city.
Oh, 100%. It's they're out there. They're just so, Montreal is just very, what's it called again? Little Europe, that's what we call it, you know what I'm saying? And I call Toronto Little New York. Even though it's not like New York,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's as of the influence, yeah.
Having been there a handful of times, like it definitely has that vibe to it. You just walk in and it has this presence that you just don't get out here.
100%. It's not New York, but it's 100%. That's the presence. 100%.
Yeah.
And I think now especially with what Drake has done for the city and the Weeknd and Tory Lane, and now to be able to see how the Toronto lingo has become so big around the world, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's so funny you hit on that. Like just to see these stars that have came out now, right? We're seeing it. Just as growth, you're seeing it with the NBA, with stars. I mean, Charles Barkley last night didn't know Dylan Brooks was Canadian.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. But then you're seeing it with Drake grow and the Weeknd grow, and there's still people. I think people know that Drake is Canadian, but there's still people that don't know the Weeknd is.
100%.
And obviously Bieber
Bieber
as well. It's just huge Canadian boom. I mean, we used to be like the centerfold for comedians, but now we're becoming the centerfold for music.
And it's good to see artists repping where they're from.
Yeah.
And that's something that's unbelievable because you never used to see that. So
No.
that's huge.
You just see someone wear I mean, look what it did for the Raptors, right? It brought this whole, like, Drake was the global ambassador for the Raptors.
100%.
But it added, and watching his growth, I mean, who would have thought this kid that was wheelchair Jimmy
Yeah.
and would have gone to this whole other level. And
Yeah.
LeBron puts out this video today on his IG about like all the stats that Drake has, and just
Yeah, I saw that. That's sick.
watching this
Wow.
rise of it, and it makes you feel proud. Like,
100%.
because as Canadians, I think there's a pride that we have for our artists that are connected. We all kind of, we're always one to tag down to the American, and Americans always point out like, oh, that guy's Canadian, because you want to point that out a rep for your country.
100%. Well, America they have so many superstars. They have so many
Excited.
superstars in the US. Don't worry.
Yeah.
They have so many superstars in the US.
Yeah.
So many superstars. So, and our country is big, but our population is not. So we compared to what the American have, from rock and roll to hip hop to country to whatever, they have so many superstars. So the fact that we have superstars, but they're all in the top 10 right now, it's crazy.
How are you putting that into your music? And obviously you could go bilingual as well with it.
100%. I mean, listen, we know that the biggest record are English record.
Mhm.
Facts. Yes, now you have Afrobeat, you have reggae, you have house music with us, but I mean, at the end of the day, like when you listen to pop or hip hop, R&B, and even house music, whatever it is, and dubstep, there's so much music, but English music is just universal. Like, it's just big everywhere. You can go to Paris and they'll rap the whole Drake.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to speak really fully English.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is, yeah.
So music is universal language. It is what it is. Yeah. It's
Going into your history of hip hop, what would be your top 5 albums?
God damn, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go with what I listen to most. I'll say Biggie.
And
for
don't
sure.
worry, I'm gonna share with you too.
I'll say Biggie.
Yeah.
This first album, that I played the hell out of that. And another one too that I played a lot was Tupac.
Mm-hmm. With All Eyes on Me.
No, the one before that, with Dear Mama. What's it called again?
That's not Me Against the World, is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
Against the World. Yes, I played the hell out of that.
Yeah.
So, and All Eyes on Me is on my top.
Yeah.
I would say top those 3, and then I would say after that, Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
I reminisce.
Yeah, heavy.
I remember when that came in NBA Street Volume 2, and that added this whole other world. Again, to be old, like when you had that in NBA Street, and then I remember the N1 mixtapes.
100%.
Had all these
Yes.
hip hop on it. Like, who are these
100%.
artists? But you're not at the hook yet. You still got 2 more.
Oh, he's Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane. Oh,
And
there
then
you go.
Red Head Kingpin. Yes.
Yeah.
Because those are albums that I remember the most. There's so many more. I can't say it's 55, but that's what I remember the most.
I'm gonna share mine with you. First, I'll say it was so weird when I was junior high. There was that West Coast and East Coast thing, right? And we took it personal. So I didn't like Biggie for like 20 years.
We in the East Coast, so
Yeah.
we're in Montreal, so we definitely ride with Biggie.
So I hated Biggie. I didn't listen to Biggie till 5 years ago.
Wow, you guys have missed it out.
And then I was like, okay, well, what was this all about? Me loving Pac so much and everyone from the West Coast. I'm like, he's really good. And finally listened to Black Rob. And I really always liked Mace. That was like the one exception.
Really, eh?
I always liked Mace. But number 1 for me is Warren G. Regulate.
Yeah.
That album just
that's
added
dope.
this entire
100%.
different
G-Funk, dope.
different sense for me. All Eyes on Me is number 2.
It's all West Coast so far, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of West Coast. DJ Quick, So
Okay,
Many Ways,
yeah.
or no,
Okay.
it's Too Quick to Groove. One of those 2 would be
They're
on
both
there.
classic.
Yeah, both of them there. And then probably go. I think it's tough, man. I'd probably go with Nas with Illmatic.
Okay. East Coast, okay.
And then 5. And you got like 36 Chambers. Then it gets hard, right? You got 36
Ooh,
Chambers. Isn't
that's
there?
another album I forgot. See?
Yeah.
I listened to that a lot.
You got
too.
Jay with the Black album. When I remember the first time.
I forgot about Wu-Tang. I played the shit out of
I
Wu-Tang.
probably would give it to Kanye College Dropout. Cause
Really? That was a big record too, yeah.
The first time I listened to that record, it kind of just, because that record led to me finding Lupe Fiasco and kind of getting into the conscious rap side of things a lot
cool.
more. With, and then even Talib kind of hit it before that, and then
100%.
Kanye kind of hit it out of the park from that point. But it kind of goes in so many different directions.
But you know what? I think the top 5 can change because there's so many. It depends on how you feel.
One day I'm going to say All Eyes on Me.
Yes.
Like, it's
because there's so many great albums. Like, that's what the thing with the 90s, the 80s, late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, there was so many. Every artist who came out were usually good. There was not that many.
There's so many, dude. I could
There
have
was not
given
many
you
whack rappers. You know what I'm saying?
The Streets is the Mother is another one.
Yeah,
The Streets is the Mother is another one. There's so many deep West Coast.
So many big records there every time. And then I was on the ground. Like we were. You knew the hip hop head in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You knew the way they dressed, the way. You know what I'm saying? You knew. Now, it's everybody's dressed the same style. Fashion is just universal.
100%. Yeah. The shoes were the thing. The gear was the thing.
The hat.
Remember like the one white
Jerseys.
boy wearing a FUBU jersey in high school? And people were like,
it matters. Doesn't matter. That's hip-hop.
And it was so funny because like before I kind of found like Pac and hip-hop, I was listening to Smashing Pumpkins. I was listening to Nirvana and the Cranberries.
Yeah, but that's still, we all fuck with that. That's
I know.
Good music. That's like, those are legendary.
But then
those
I remember the first time I listened to an LL Cool J record.
Swear.
No, you're allowed to swear. I listened to LL Cool J Phenomenon. I'm like, oh, this is dope. And then it was the Space Jam soundtrack of all soundtracks. The Space Jam soundtrack, I'm like, okay, what is this? This is different.
Tag Team was on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. So I have the record.
This new Space Jam movie has a lot to live up to, just because the soundtrack.
Well, the first one.
Yeah.
And it's MJ. Come on, man.
The first that first soundtrack with Hit 'Em High. I mean, obviously R. Kelly, but
yeah.
And then Seal coming out with his as well.
Yeah,
Fly Like an Eagle.
That was
fire.
Fire.
Which just changes everything. So
I agree. And you know what's another classic, especially album for music? I would say Bad Boy, the first one.
Yeah.
Classic.
That's a good one. And there's so many good like soundtrack. Remember the soundtrack for Bulworth was actually underratedly good.
And what's another one too in the 90s? Nino Brown. Help me out. Nino Brown.
New Jack City.
New Jack City.
That's a good one
classic.
too.
What?
Yeah. The 90s has so much good. I was listening to Bobby Brown on the way actually over here. That album was
classic.
fire.
Oh, Bobby Brown.
Then I remember when he came on Ghostbusters 2 and did the Ghostbusters 2 theme.
When I was in high school, that's how I used to get the girl. You
Yeah.
put little Bobby,
Yeah.
woo, over.
Yeah. I don't feel like you got like those kind of groups or bands anymore. Like in the 2000s, that's like when the alternative side broke out, right? You had Muse and Arctic Monkeys and the Killers and all these different things, all these different awesome bands. And Foo Fighters was really hitting their side. And we had all these different groups, like you had B2K and all these other hip hop groups that were coming around. And then now it's a lot of single acts and not really any rock bands anymore.
That's great. I agree.
Which I don't know why that is.
Me neither. I don't know if it's it's a business move now, because when you think of or money.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jose. But yeah, I would say, you know what? I it makes sense. It's money move, because if you have an artist you're going to market, it's easy to go find a band. Now a producer can produce a whole album for a band. Band can just come in the music. Not crazy.
It was almost like in sports we have the developmental league, right? Like Beyonce's gone down to the minors. She's going to be in Destiny's Child. Now she's getting the call up.
But to the defense for especially live music, country, rock, it's so much expensive to record a rock band, a country band.
Is it?
An artist. Yeah, because you have to do the guitar, the drummer, all the mic. A rapper is just the beat was already produced by a producer. They got the file, and they just him recording with a sound engineer. If you're going to record a live band, you have to mic the band. The drummer, the guitar player, the piano, the vocalist, the background vocalist. So it's more expensive.
Do you think that's kind of part of streaming and how that's changed, where money comes from?
100%.
Yeah.
Listen, me releasing a song, producing a song, playing everything, and doing the job on my pad machine, on my studio, the cost is really low. Let's say if I had to record a live band, you have to pay the band, the artist who's going to play the guitar, the drummer, the bass player, the piano, and then you got to find a studio where you have to mic up all those sound and record. I mean, it's.
Do you even bother releasing a CD, or is it all digital?
Digital now.
Yeah.
CD, I think, is great if you want to bring that retro.
Yeah.
Cool factor to it, but all digital. Kids they just want to hear it, on to the next.
Streaming side is so interesting. I think it's why what Taylor Swift just did, re-releasing all her stuff.
Genius, because she got screwed. Like listen, somebody sold a master or tried to sold it. I don't know if they sold it, but
Scooter, is it Scooter Braun?
Yeah, that's Justin Bieber's manager.
Yeah.
What, $300 million?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I would re-record my shit too right away.
It still sounds good.
It goes back to the business side. 80% business.
Yeah.
So, listen, she's a legend. She has a big empire. She learned from a lesson. You know what I'm saying? And
I think what she's done for her music side, even when Apple Music came out, she was one that kind of pushed against it, and I think wrote it the right way for artists. I mean, for artists, especially for an artist like you, right, that You're just starting out. Like, I think she didn't take that stand right away, it would have been a little bit different for an artist like you. Now everything is so streaming.
100%. But you still have to understand streaming numbers.
Yeah.
How to market your song. How to send your music to the right people. Like send your music to your what's it called again? The playlist.
Curators.
Mm-hmm. He handles all that for me.
Right.
So even I understand that part, but I go back to the lab, make more music.
And what's that streaming process like? So you upload it, and then like, are you looking at numbers like right away, or are you like giving it days?
Well, no, we give days because you upload it, then you have to put the money behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a money game. You have to market your music.
Mm-hmm.
People have to understand the record label, once you sign an artist, they put all the money behind marketing. As an artist, you have a lot of artists don't understand that it's just not spending money on recording. Once you record, you have to have the money so you can promote your music. Like hit the creator to push your music in other platform. You have to invest money, you have to save budget so you can promote your own music. So it doesn't happen overnight. Like the YouTube thing, one hit wonder, those days are over.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, it was big 10 years ago. You can sing a cover and get 10 million streams.
Like that's how Bieber was found.
Yeah.
So that's done now.
Yeah, like people are looking for, like, you have to have the business now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the business, not only the talent.
Was there a point that you kind of realized that?
Oh, since day one. Because
one.
I've been doing my own thing. I've never been signed. I refused. We were supposed to get signed 15 years ago to do mixtape. We said no.
Why is that?
Because $150,000 and a Cadillac, I end up buying my own Cadillac. It's my fourth one now.
There you go.
So that's not long-term money.
Yeah.
So it's understanding the business. But if you're an artist who doesn't understand music business, $50,000 or $100,000 is a lot of money. If you broke, if you never had money, but okay, that's after a year, it's gone. A year and a half, it's gone.
Yeah.
Especially I'd say a year, because you have to invest, pay your rent, your car, your insurance, and then you have to invest in your music. It's not a lot of money.
Have any, who's the biggest artist you've worked with so far?
Not too many. I would say, I work with some great artists, independent artists, but nothing big yet. No.
Yeah. Who's your dream artist to work with?
I don't have.
No. Just whatever comes.
Yeah. You know, the artists I would like to work with, but I'm looking for the next dope artist.
Mm-hmm.
That's you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. I will never forget what Jermaine Dupri said. I'm a fan of Jermaine Dupri, producer, DJ, legend, Usher, Mariah Carey, Chris Cross. I mean, that's him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said, if you're going to push music, beats to artists, don't send beat to Jay-Z or this person. They get that all the time. Mm-hmm. Find an artist who's nobody knows, who has talent, and you can invest in, you can team up, and they can be the next up. So when he said that 10, 15 years ago, it stuck with me. So,
you definitely have this kind of, you have your business partner and everything, but you do have that entrepreneur type of mindset and spirit. You mentioned it a few times.
And that's why we team up, because he has this missing mindset. So, it's a business. You know what I mean? And you have to put in the work and understand what you're doing. We're learning every day. It doesn't stop. But it is a music business, and this music business is not easy.
Yeah. What's been the lowest part of it so far?
COVID.
Yeah.
Goddamn COVID.
I walked into that one.
COVID just stopped the tour. I've been touring no DJ, no studio, nothing. It's crazy. Like the DJs and artists, especially the DJs and the artists too, but the DJs, we got screwed. No government help, nobody felt sorry for us, and then artists too. Like there's no tour, no nothing. Mm-hmm. So when we open, the price is going up. What was the last city you went to or tour that you had? It was the last date you had before COVID? Fernie? Was it Fernie? Yeah, Fernie. We were on a cooking tour.
Yeah, when was that?
It was January.
Yeah. All right. So you had a little bit of a break, and you were planning to go back.
The break. We did a couple little shows in Calgary. We did the Beat and Brunch. We were supposed to go to Toronto too as well. We had Toronto, Montreal, everything lined up, and COVID happened. Mm-hmm. And even go to the U.S., Vegas, and all that stuff, and Phoenix, all that stuff in the U.S. So a lot of plan.
So you're seeing the States open up a little bit now. Is there starting at least maybe the breadcrumbs of? Well,
I don't know. We're still on lockdown here. I just hopefully we reopen soon. But I hope that if they can help us DJs who actually make a living doing this, if we get a second vaccine, we can go to the US and start.
Yeah.
At least that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we can't play here, so what's the point? Like, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. It's the hardest thing holding you back right now, right? You're like a bulldog. You're just like ready to let go and just move forward.
You can't do nothing. You can't DJ. You can't have people in your studio. You can't. It's tough. It's tough. So
I guess the highlight of it though is it giving you more time in the studio to
100%
create content.
I was able to release my album, 100%, and just FYI too. It's not just us DJs; it's other people too who have jobs and
of course.
career.
Yeah,
you know, we're all going through the same thing. But I'm just focusing on that because it's affecting me.
Well, no, I mean, I've done how many interviews, and everyone has their own little story.
Well said.
The ways that it's affected everybody. So obviously, you know, you got affected by it.
100%. We all did. But yes, 100%.
But I think the one thing is, well, it has affected people. There is the side shred of how is it making me better, and it's obviously took you in the studio and
stay in shape.
Yeah, there you go.
Stay in shape, lost a lot of weight, working out every morning.
There you
go. I've been very blessed because I got a friend who owns his own gym, so I got the keys. So
there you go.
Amen to that. And as well too, just be able to work on my music.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to just reset, stop working with other artists. What I was doing is making music for other artists. I was able to focus on myself and making music for me as an artist. Mm-hmm. So that was the blessing, and I ain't going back. This is where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, music seems very. You know, I love when I do these interviews and passion. You can test it. You can tell it. You can feel it in the air, and you definitely have that.
Thank you. I love it. You know what? And I'm doing it. So I get up every morning. I'm like, this is crazy. We get paid to do what we love. It's not easy, but we get to do what we love. Like what do you always say, Mike? I haven't had to pay a day job since
there was 2 towers in New York.
I love that. You know what I'm saying? So it makes you, you know what I'm saying? It makes you realize, holy crap, we're actually doing this, and it's a blessing. So I always tell people, follow your passion. Yeah. Passion will win over everything. No matter what, passion. Like it's like look what you're doing. It's big respect, and I'm happy to be here. And
appreciate it.
And you're on your way, my friend. You're on your way.
We're working on it. Rocswell Radio. Talk about that.
Rocswell Radio is a part of I'm DJ Rocswell. Rocswell Radio is more like the music brand, the studio, the production, the visual, the music, lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So, and we have other t-shirts that's gonna come out too. Le Bleu, Montreal. It just.
I do love how you have this bilingual thing, because I will say, as someone that's a Brit, I love kind of the explosion of the English rap.
Yes.
That it kind of makes me as a Brit like very excited about it. So I love for this other side, the bilingual side that you're growing.
Yeah, French. That's why I grew up. My French was my first language, so you can tell my accent a little bit. But it just it opens a lot of doors for me. 100%. I got to travel the world. I was a flight attendant for Air Canada. Nobody knows that. Yeah, after when I was done college, that's what I did, and it helped me to expand my music business. Mm-hmm. So I got to see the world.
The connections is such a big thing, right? And in finding the people, and you have 100%. Such a glowing, great personality. I'm sure it's a lot easier to make those connections too.
It helped, 100%. It helped. I didn't realize that until some people start saying that to me. You know what I'm saying? And 100%, networking and people is key. The key to the next level. 100%.
So the album comes out January 2022.
No, the first album came out January this year.
This year.
It's called The Mood Vibration.
Yeah.
Second album is going to be called Your Attention. It's coming out probably this summer.
This summer.
We don't have a date yet, but
Party
we're working.
Summer album then.
No, it's more low. It's a lo-fi soul, hip hop, very chill. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
But it's very hip hop influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else do we need to know?
I got a remix that I'm going to be producing for Rosette. And she has a new song called Electricity, but I'm doing a B-side and a remix for that. And what else? That's it. It's more music.
Yeah.
Still Rocswell.
Keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going. Yes.
Keep it going. Well, I think we might do a part 2. Talk about some sports and whatnot.
I love that.
But part 1, appreciate the passion.
Yeah, appreciate the time.
Good time interview. Until then, cheers and baby.